All right, what's up, y'all? This is High Rise, and I usually use this channel to post music videos and share the music that I make, but haven't really been doing much music lately because I've been busy, and plus my last project came out less than a year ago, so I usually have a period of time where I'm not doing much music stuff after I release something. So been spending a lot of time working on this Outpost, and I think it's finally at a point where I can share it with the world. So the background story for this, I originally started making this Outpost when the game first came out a couple years ago. It's on Masada III, and I was going through a phase where I'd land on planets and look for the biggest mountain to climb and see if I could build an outpost on it. So I found this mountain and was able to get a launch pad down, and it was one of the vanilla launch pads that was able to be placed. I've since replaced it with a modded launch pad that looks better and sits closer to the ground. But once I was able to get the large launch pad down, I just started building a bunch of habs and seeing what I could put down and came up with this basic shape of a structure. Back then it was a bunch of the default hydrophonic habs with the green 2-story habs. And I was using storage crates to jump up the side of the mountain. And once that was complete, I kind of got stuck with decorating the interiors because there really wasn't a lot of options and kind of got overwhelmed with that. So I stopped working on the Outpost and actually stopped playing the game for a couple years. And then finally Shattered Space DLC came out. So I got back into the game to play the DLC. And I still haven't beat the DLC because I got distracted with all of the new Outpost mods and ended up revisiting this. And there were a bunch of mods that allowed me to basically complete it in a way I had originally envisioned it. A big one is the interior buildable walls, I think it's called, by Miss O. And then the better habs and doors was a big one because that allowed me to build all of these different catwalks that allowed me to actually walk up the mountain instead of jetpacking between a bunch of storage crates. And also it gave better hab options in terms of customizing where the glass is instead of just having a glassed out hydrophonic hab. So, and then also a lot of interior decoration mods, so I didn't have to put furniture everywhere and then collect a bunch of stuff to place myself. I don't think I would be able to do that with the size of this Outpost. So so that helped a lot. So I'll go into a general overview of this before showing the interiors on the ground. So over here we have the landing / launch pad with shipbuilding on it. This one is the launch pad from the Argos extractor mod by Miss O because it looks better than the default and sits lower to the ground. And then over here we have the main structure, which can kind of be split up into two areas. So this section here is where a bunch of different vendors are, so you can buy materials or weapons or armor and stuff like that, and also sell off all of the junk you've collected. And then this one over here is the residential, and it has like the hospital and some lounge areas, a bunch of residential units, because the general approach I did was to try and give each person living here their own hab instead of putting a bunch of different beds into one hab. So it's like separate apartments. And then there's like a place to buy groceries, stuff like that. Up on top of this mountain, this is more of a viewing platform with a restaurant on the second story. And then these two little buildings are just two additional residential units also. And then on the back side here, there's some argon veins on this mountain. So the like argon extractors are back here, along with like a little control area so you can monitor the activities. It doesn't actually work like that, but that's like headcanon stuff to justify building there. And then the argon that's mined from here, it all gets routed over into these gas storage containers, and this is kind of where it would get loaded onto the ship. And there's also a vendor down here that sells minerals, and there's some other stuff down here that you'll see eventually. And then over on this side, because originally the outpost was just the launch pad and then this section on the mountain here, because the outpost boundary was only allowed that. And then I ran into this issue where I could only build 6 mannequins when I was building out the armored vendor, so I had to download a mod that increased the number of mannequins, and that also increased the outpost perimeter. So then that allowed me to build out here. So I have this all-in-one Argos tower hab that basically functions to aid the launch pad. And then up here we have the observatory, and that's placed far away from the outpost, so like light doesn't interfere with looking at the stars. Plus, attached to it is the Argos apartment. I originally wanted to put the crew hab here, but it didn't look as good and didn't fit the floor or I guess the area as well. So I ended up putting the apartment because it just looked better. So that's the general overview. We'll go to the ground now. I'll try and get through this fast because there's a lot of stuff to cover, but general idea, you come out of your ship, say what's up to Vasco, and then you can go up here. There's a walkway that takes you over to this hab and like takes you up to the observatory also, but the main entry point is around here, with the main staircase right here. And if you have a different ship, because this is my upgraded Razor Leaf, and I kept the theme of having the entryway in the back and walking straight up to the cockpit without using a ladder or anything. But if you have a ship that has the opening on the front here, then it would open right in front of the stairs here. So if you come around here, you have a Trade Authority kiosk that comes with this launch pad, and then your ship builder is here. You can view and modify all of your different ships, just like all of the other shipbuilders. And then I wanted to have a ship services technician, but I haven't found a mod that allows you to put a ship services technician into a hab yet, because I would want them to go onto the first floor up here. But I haven't found a mod that allows me to do that yet. Maybe there's one that exists. And I play on Xbox, so I don't know if that has something to do with it, if there's more options on PC. But anyways, you come up on these stairs. There's this deck that has the outpost beacon. So this is where you spawn when you fast travel here. You have a couple smaller vendors here. There's like a small general trader here, and then a junk trader here.
Oh, hey.
And then you have a fork in the path here. If you go down here, it'll take you to the where the mining vendor is. I'll show that after or later in the tour, but first we'll head up to the main entry lobby. So in here, this is the initial entry lobby. There's a bunch of different vending machines, and you also have a field services technician. This is where I wanted the ship services technician to go, but like I said, I couldn't find a way to do that, so this will have to do. And you can do some ship modifications here, but it's not as in-depth as the shipbuilder that's on the launch pad. And I can't get vendors to stay where the counters or the desks are. They like to walk around and stuff, so I try and trap them in with these planters, but that doesn't always work, and sometimes they glitch and disappear to another part of the mountain. Out here, this is kind of functions as a shortcut. So if you don't want to walk through the whole structure to get to where the living units are, you can just go up these stairs and it'll take you straight up there. But we'll take the long way through so you can see the whole interior of this outpost. So we come over here to the staircase, head up here, and we have the advanced armor dealer. So
Hey there.
you can buy a bunch of different space suits and apparel and packs and some resources from this dude. And he likes to walk around because, once again, I couldn't get him to stay where the desk is. But it is what it is. So there's some different outfits on display here. Got some different spacesuits on display, and some helmets and some packs on display. I may update those decorations at some point if I collect any more like legendary or cooler items as I play the game.
Hi there, friend.
So head up to the 3rd floor. And here we have the weapons dealer. Looks like she escaped from where the counter is. So it'd be nice if there's a way to get the vendors to stay here, but it doesn't always happen. But yeah, so here, a bunch of storage and display for different weapons that you find as you explore the Starfield. And then you also have like your research station, your weapon workbench. So everything you need to customize your weapons, and you can buy weapons and ammo from the vendor here also. And then head up here. This door takes you out to the shortcut to get to the rest of the outpost. If you don't want to walk through the entire interior, but if we head up to the 4th floor, and we have the advanced general trader.
Hi there.
And you can just buy like
You got
general
it.
resources and stuff from her. And then there's a bunch of storage here to just like store random stuff or resources that you use to craft. You have an industrial workbench, and then some what are these called, like showcases that they basically are displays for different things you collect. And of course there's like lots of views of the spaceport and the rest of the neighboring mountains as you go up further into the outpost. So that covers the commercial section of the building. From here we move into the residential section. Have a couple lounge areas here, and all these interior walls, these are built with the Miss O interior walls mod. It's a really good mod. This is more of like a library quiet space. You have books, a place to study, a place to just like lounge and enjoy the view. And then over here, this is more of a lively lounge space with a pool table and a place for drinks and a place to watch TV and a place for Major Hadrian to just stand around and look at a slate, apparently. So yeah, from there, it's a place to relax and look at some artwork. And then we have the hospital / medic area. Person here at the front desk to check you in or give you some basic medical supplies. And then we have the actual doctor here. You can buy like medical supplies or heal yourself.
Stay safe out there.
And there's got a couple pharmaceutical labs and research stations here, and of course the patient rooms that have some nice views looking out from the window. So if you're like injured or whatever, you're not just looking at a wall or something. So we head further into the outpost, and here we have a gym and some places to get water, some weights, a pull-up bar. I tried to get the punching bag in here, and it just would not it refused to be placed, so I gave up. I got it to place at another outpost before using mods, so I don't know if I just got lucky or if the hydrophonic habs work better for that decoration than these science habs, but it is what it is. This door, this is just again the shortcut from the first floor. You can walk up all these stairs and then go directly to where the residential units are instead of walking through all of the vendors to get here. And then here we have our first residential unit. It's one of the smaller ones. And I kind of try to put the same features in each one. You'd have a bed and then a workstation and then kind of a living room area, sometimes looking out the window. Sometimes it has a television depending on the unit. And then your dining area here with your cooking station and your fridge. And then there's another one right above this. And this one, the bed is here looking out at the view, which is getting blasted by the sun right now, so can't really see anything. And then you have the dining area here with your cooking station, workstation. You have a spacesuit workbench, and then your like living room is here with this other view out of this window. When I built these, I was expecting when I assigned crew here they would spawn where the workstations are. That really doesn't happen most of the time. They kind of end up all over the place, but it is what it is. So this is the dining hall. You have a barista here because there aren't a lot of options for food vendors. Looks like Marika managed to make her way into here, which is good because prior to making this video, crew members weren't exactly walking around the interior and using the furniture and stuff. They would just spawn all over different parts of the mountain and just stand outside the whole time and do nothing. So it's good to see that they're finally interacting with the outposts. Have a kitchen over here where you can make food and play some games or chill and stuff. And then from there, there's a bigger lounge here. You have your pool table and your ping pong table, and then a dartboard, another place to relax and look at the view outside, a place to watch TV, got some books, various places to like relax on the couch. And then here we have the bigger residential units. So here's the first one that Heller appears to have claimed. Dining area right here with the cooking station. Got your workstation over here with your different tools to do sciencey stuff or to work on your spacesuit. You can also watch TV here. And then there's a sleeping area with the plushies that are playing cards and getting high because they're right here next to the what's it called? The contraband container. So yeah, they need to be careful and make sure to stuff that towel at the base of the door. Got a library here with another loungy area to look at the exterior. So that's that living unit. There's a couple more larger living units up here. So this one has a nicer kitchen. And wait, what?
Here to shoot the
Weren't you
breeze?
just downstairs? How'd you get up here? Hold on. Wait, is it just me or that full teleport? He's trying to claim all the different living units. Don't be greedy, Heller. So watch out for Heller. He's gonna like home invade your stuff. So watch out for that. That's sketchy. But anyways, you got your living room here. And then kitchen, workstation, This one has a weapon workbench, and then here's the bedroom with the wardrobe, and then place to watch TV, some storage units. So that's that one. And then we have another residential unit here that Sam seems to have claimed. So too bad he can't bring Cora here, because there's enough room for y'all to live here together and get her off my ship. Like, I thought you're Cora's father, not me. But anyways, place to watch TV here. Got the kitchen and the dining area and the bed facing the window so you can get blasted by the sunshine. I don't know why it's so bright right now. Got a yoga corner. I didn't know Sam's into doing yoga. Some weight area. And then the last large residential unit is the one I've claimed for myself because I built this place and I'm starborn at this point, so I can do whatever I want. So got the kitchen here, and then a dining area can also function as a place for Constellation to meet. Got the navigation console, but you can't fast travel from it because the game will crash. Got a research lab right here. And then kind of like another living room setup where you can get blasted by sunlight or read. And then move back into here, and this is my bedroom. I guess me and Andreja's bedroom, because that's who I ended up getting with in this new game plus. But there's a desk with a spacesuit workbench. Got the bedroom looking out with a nice view over the spaceport. A yoga corner, weight area. Some couches here so you can like chill and read. And yo, what are you doing in my bedroom? This ain't your unit, Tane.
What's the one phrase you say the most?
Alright, I'll gotta escort him out after this, but got a research lab and then a place to watch TV. And then a couple of workbenches here. I think this might come from the Argos mod, where it's these little things that you can put down on tables or other surfaces and they function as the workbench. It's pretty clutch if you're having space constraints. So anyways, that's my living unit. And then from here we can see the remaining 4 units that are outside. So if you head out here, here's this deck that accesses these 2 buildings here. So we got a unit here. Tane should escort himself over to here because looks like no one's claimed this yet. Got the bed looking out at the view and spacesuit workbench. Got your dining area here, cooking station, and like a place to read. Head downstairs. There's another small living unit. Kind of a similar setup with the bed looking out the window with the dining area and cooking station. Place to watch TV. And then got your workstation, etc. And then 2 more living units in this final building way out here. Gotta take a time to look at the view, as you can see the coastline out here. So we head inside, and this one is a little more private because the bed is back here, not out at the window. The living room is near the window and has a nice view when it's not blindingly sunny out. And then same thing with the dining area with the full kitchen. It has the nice kitchen, not the default one. And then the last residential unit is up here. And once again, got the dining area with the bed, the lounge/living area, and then of course the workstation with the weapons workbench. So there's a bit of a housing shortage here. only reason I was keeping track of that is because I've built a good amount of Fallout 4 settlements where you have to have the number of beds that match the number of settlers, but that mechanic doesn't happen in Starfield, so at the end of the day it doesn't matter. But I was trying to make sure everybody who's stationed here has their own living unit, and it's tricky. So anyways, here's the greenhouse. I wanted a way to put actual crops in here, but I couldn't find a mod for that. Maybe it's on PC, but on Xbox I couldn't find that, so I just placed a bunch of planters in here and used my imagination that crops are grown here, and then the organic green grocer is here where you can buy food, but you can't put any of these plants anywhere, which is unfortunate, but I'll get over it. It's just a video game. So and then we head out here and we have this outdoor viewing area with like a fire pit so people can gather around and tell their scary stories about terramorphs or the spider swarm things which live out at that oil platform there, but they never make their way out here. No one ever makes their way out here, actually. I remember at one point there was like it was either an eclectic ship or starborn ship. You hear it land nearby, but the AI is too dumb to navigate all of these mountains and stuff, so they never get up here. And then here's the barbecue pit that's always on fire, so that can't be good. But yeah, just a nice place to chill and enjoy the view and do other stuff. And then from here we can head up the mountain. I think I already mentioned this, but the Better Habs with Doors mod was really clutch for building this, because that's where all of these catwalk elements came from that allowed me to build all of these staircases and landings to navigate the mountainous terrain here. But yeah, the further you get up, the better you can see the rest of the map. The coastline is this weird right angle. Not sure why that happened, and you get so tall up that you can basically see the edge of the map. But we're heading up here to the observation building, and this actually has, I mean, you can enter here, but it actually has a deck that goes around the entire length of the building, so you can just take in the mountains and the surrounding terrain, which is really nice. This is open for some reason, don't know why that's open. And then yeah, and sweet, you can see the observatory, because sometimes this game can't load this entire outpost for some reason, so you come up here and the observatory doesn't load, so you're just over here looking at a blank mountain. But I'm glad I was able to load for this video, so that's cool. But yeah, you can enter through here. You have some vending machines, so if you're just totally gassed from walking up all those steps and working out your quads, you can get some chunks or your marshmallow treats and recover. And then down here is just a general lounge area with different places to sit with a bunch of plants, and of course the freedom to move outside and take in the view if you want. And then upstairs we have this restaurant with a bunch of different tables. I was kind of basing this off of a place in Switzerland that I went to once. It had like a rotating restaurant on top of the mountain, which was cool. And then here's the bartender. He never stays at the bar apparently, so I'll go and put him back to where he's supposed to be. But yeah, I can't get vendors to stay put most of the time, so but ideally he would stay right here so you can buy your drinks. And looks like who's this? Oh, looks like Autumn might managed to get up here, which is good to see NPCs using the habs and the furniture that I built. So yeah, that's this building. So from here we'll head back down, and see the rest of the outpost. I'm gonna take the fast way down so we're not like here forever. There we go. It'd be funny if I accidentally died and then have to load from the beginning, but I'll show you the shortcut because this building is pretty windy and stuff since there isn't a method for building a central staircase or atrium. So there's a shortcut out here that allows you to go from the residential units directly down to the first floor of this building. This is what I showed y'all earlier. Right here, back at the first floor. But before we go there, I'll show you the argon extractors, and it looks like somebody spawned randomly on the side of the mountain here. Who is that? Oh, it's Lynn. Alright, well, she'll get cold if she stays out here. But yeah, there's some extractors here. And then in here is just some control stations to monitor the extracting activity and keep the whole mining the whole mining activity running smoothly. So yeah, that's that building. So we'll head back upstairs. Bear with me, 'cause it's a lot of switchbacks. So yeah, we are back at the first floor. The field technician did not glitch through the hab, so that's good. And then yeah, we will now head down here. So these are a bunch of Argos extractor habs from the Argos extractor mod. It's a bunch of habs that come pre-decorated, so you don't have to decorate it yourself. I think it's another Miss O mod. Same person who made the buildable interior walls mod. So there's some desks here and some storage. The most important thing is this
Get lost on the way to
resource vendor.
We sell
So
medicine,
you can
art,
buy a bunch of
no
different
credits.
minerals here if you don't feel like going out and mining them yourself, or going to a vendor on like Neon or something and buying a bunch of resources. It's a lot easier just to go here and buy them
2
here and
customers in a month.
refresh 48
grounded.
hours if they run out of stock. There's some stuff on the second floors here. There's like another navigation and control center. And then I think there's stuff on the second floor over here too. Yeah, I got like some office space here. Am I stuck on something? Interesting. And then in here there's like a bunch of different places to suit up and store some weapons. I don't use it as much since there's weapon storage further up on the outpost. And then out here, this is sort of the loading area where you can load the argon onto your ship. And then if you go to this staircase, this takes you down and gives you access to the gas storage. So once the argon is extracted, it like ends up into all of this storage before getting loaded. That's headcanon stuff. I don't know if I actually use argon for much in this game. So yeah, that's this part of the settlement. So from here, we will head over to the other side of the outpost. So this is all stuff that was in the original boundary before I downloaded that mod that enlarged the outpost boundary. So all of this stuff is on the newer side, and thought about building more stuff since the boundary is larger, but I figured that the game can't handle it because already it crashes every time I try to enter the spaceship or try to fast travel from here, and the game crashes. So I don't know if it can handle building more stuff. But here is the all-in-one Argos tower hab. There's a couple different entryways. This one leads you back to the launch pad, which is where we started the tour originally. So if you come here, you can enter here. There's a couple different like office spaces, and I think there's like some research labs and other things that you can use here. It's got a pharmaceutical lab. And then up here, there's a wait station. You got a deck with access to the exterior so you can get some fresh air. And got a bathroom. Yeah, I didn't bother building bathrooms in the rest of the outpost because when I first started it, there wasn't enough options to build bathrooms, so it just isn't something that I really thought about. And then once I got the mods, I was too far along to like start implementing that, so it is what it is. So that's the Argos all-in-one tower, and then from here we can start heading up to the observatory. Oh, and there's like a place to hang out up here too for everyone who likes to jetpack around. But yeah, let's head up to the top of this mountain. So there's a apartment hab attached to the observatory. We'll head to the observatory first. And I might mess with this some. Originally I wanted to have a bigger deck here, but if you move this observatory like one whoa, what the if you move this observatory one walkway width in this direction, it glitches out and looks invisible. And then if you enter it, then the game crashes. So that's why it's built where it is. But anyways, in here, got some like food printer, some different workstations, and then like this control area with the navigation console. Once again, can't fast travel from this outpost because it crashes. A bunch of different servers because looking into the stars and processing a bunch of data takes up a lot of computational power. A place here for team members to get debriefed on different missions and look at stuff. And then up here, you got the telescope. Too bad you can't actually look through it, but you can open the shutter here, which I think you need a mod for. I believe if you use the observatory regularly, it just stays open all the time. And then we come back down here, and then let's head to the apartment. So in here, got a bedroom, so if it's like too late and you don't want to walk all the way back to the main outpost, there's like places to like cook and hang out here over the night, or if you get caught in a storm or something. We got a deck here with a nice view of the rest of the outpost, and then some other stuff downstairs, some like different display cases and a desk to do work, a place to display a bunch of minerals, which I haven't gotten to decorating yet. And if you head out here, and yeah, so that's basically the entire outpost. So yeah, it's been quite the undertaking, and I have thought about adding more to it because there is a bit of a housing shortage. So I thought about adding another structure over here but there's so much going on that I just don't think the game can handle it, and I don't want to get into a situation where I can't fast travel from Masada III at all without crashing the game. That would be unfortunate. Or can't travel to the Outpost without crashing the game. So just trying to so yeah, basically I think that's it for this Outpost. So I have a couple other locations that have potential to be finished with the mods that currently exist. There's like 4 locations in the Archimedes system. Because the Archimedes system, I think, is the coolest system in the game in terms of like cool locations to build and planets to explore. But it's just a matter of time, because this was very time consuming, and I don't know if I have time to build out all of those other locations, but if I do get around to it, I'll post those videos if people like this type of content, and yeah, go from there. So anyways, hope you enjoyed the Masada III Mountain Outpost tour, and yeah, High Rise out. Thank you.